I work here for a start. We're at the University of Bedfordshire, so I actually work as a technician here. So I'm support for the students on film and theatrical side. So I help the students develop their skills with cameras, both DSLRs and video cameras, and my speciality really is camera and lighting. So I also work in the theatre, so I teach them theatre lighting and teach them how to use the theatre lighting and also location lighting. But also I'm a documentary filmmaker for my own faults, or an independent one. So I'm working on a film about, if anybody knows Luton in Bedfordshire, in the UK. There's a river that runs through Luton called the River Lee, and the actual source of the river comes up through in the middle of a housing estate, and then flows all the way through Bedfordshire and through Luton itself, and then it flows out through Hertfordshire and ends up ultimately joining with the Thames, and it's called the River Lee. But it changes its name from LEA, which it is here, to LEE when it gets to Hertfordshire. But the project is we're going to make a short film about a cinematic journey about the river, so following the river's path and actually talking to people along the way about what the river means to them, if it means nothing. And they simply tell us it means nothing, but some have some splendid stories about when they used to swim in the river when they were children, and they remember the boating lakes at the local museum at Wardown Park, and so on and so on. So we'll follow that. But included in that is, which is just as much important to me, is a community-based project. So we're going to be offering workshops for the local schools that actually the river runs past. They will be photographic workshops with Ruth Grimberg, who is a professional photographer. She'll be taking the students onto the river, taking photographs, and then going back into the classroom with the equipment supplied by us and working on the photographs, which we will hopefully then develop into a book for the students. We're also offering, there's a local poet by the name of John Hegley. He's going to be doing written and spoken word workshops with the schools also. That's one part of it. Second part is we're going to be taking archive photographs from the local museum about Luton and about the river. We're then going to try and recreate those photographs with the children. Well, when I say children, it's young and old, but it will ultimately, I would imagine, be the schools of the children. And then we're going to put an installation along the river of various points along the river, and then with that we're inviting the students to write their own poem or write their own verse, and we will then record those poems. We will then upload them onto a site, and when you're looking at the photographs you'll be able to ring a number, and you'll be able to listen to the poem being read to you by that person, and you'll be looking at the photograph at the same time, so it's an interactive thing along the river. Also, hopefully with that we will be developing oral history. We'll be doing some oral history work, and then offering the art exhibition of the photographs will go around the town, but we're also going to do possibly in a second stream of the community work some murals along old buildings along the route, and then they're going to be designed graphics by students and people within Luton, and also the poems that have been selected, they will also be stencilled across the walls. The film was the initial idea was the film. We always wanted to do a film about the river because it's completely overlooked. It's just this filthy, as most people believe, it's this filthy piece of stretch of water that just flows through the town, and all it seems to manage to do is encourage rats. That's the feedback you get from most people. And we always wanted to do that, and we always wanted to do this journey, because most people will say, well, it means nothing to me apart from it's this filthy river. But there will be other people, as I said, that say, well, it means a lot to me. I grew up on the river when it was a clean river, and the border, and it wasn't split and it wasn't diverted. We used to swim in it, and we used to spend a great deal of time with it. And I spent a lot of time with my mother and father and my siblings, sitting down by the river picnicking, because there's lots of areas of interest along there, including cricket clubs and sports areas and old boating lakes and things like that. And that was the interest initially. And then from that idea of making the film, we suddenly thought, you know what, there's more than just a film involved here. We can get the community involved. And it is, in our heart of hearts, an attempt to regenerate Luton, or to regenerate Luton in a way that make people think more positively about their town, because there is this apathy certainly in the town, and this negativity about Luton, which is unfair, because there is a lot of diversity. There's a lot of good that goes on in Luton, both within the town and where we're actually filming now. The university itself is a great thing. It's a great opportunity for the young and old. But so there's lots to be encouraged, and we're going to. That's what we hope to do. We hope to regenerate the people that get involved with the film and generally the whole project.